Today, we're diving into one of the biggest mysteries in the entire universe, dark matter. But we're going to look at it through a lens that is so different, so out there, it might just redefine not only dark matter, but matter itself, and maybe even the very nature of space.
So to get started, we have to ask a question that really flips our basic assumptions on their head. What if the vacuum of space isn't, empty? What if it's not just a passive stage where the universe happens, but it's actually the active, fundamental stuff from which everything else emerges?
The first principle of this whole framework is, well, it's a total reset. It just throws out the idea of objects existing in space. Instead, it says that only space exists. And what we call matter, particles, atoms, you and me, we're not things in space, we're simply what space itself is doing in a very specific, localized way.
So what is this active space? It's called the oscillatory phase field. And you should think of it less like an empty box and more like a vast, vibrating ocean. It's the physical substrate, the fundamental fabric of reality itself, where every single thing in the universe is just a behavior of this one underlying field.
Okay, so if reality is just a vibrating field, then the fundamental particles we all learned about, electrons, quarks, they can't be tiny little solid balls. The entire idea of a particle as a separate thing just gets replaced by something much more dynamic, something geometric.
So what is a particle then? In this model, it's something called a topological soliton. Now imagine a ripple traveling through a giant sheet of fabric. Then imagine that ripple twisting and tying itself into a stable, persistent knot. That knot can move around, it can interact with things, but it can't easily come undone. Well, in this model, a particle is one of those self-trapped, stable knots of vibration in the fabric of space. It's trapped geometry. So how do you actually build a particle from nothing but space? It happens in a few steps. First, you've got a free vibration, right? A simple ripple. This is massless energy, just like light. But then, and here's the magic trick, that vibration can get caught on itself, folding back and creating a standing wave. This is the moment mass pops into existence. And finally, that trapped wave settles down, it stabilizes into a persistent knot, a soliton. And boom, that's our particle.
Okay, so that's a pretty cool way to explain normal matter as just knots of vibrating space. But this leads to the really big question. If all matter comes from the exact same fabric, why is 85% of the matter in our universe completely and totally invisible to us? Why is it dark?
And this brings us to the crucial insight. This phase field, the fabric of space, it isn't limited to vibrating in just one way. It can oscillate in different sectors, you could call them, dimensions of vibration that are completely independent of each other and, get this, mutually invisible. It's kind of like having AM and FM radio waves occupying the exact same space. Your AM radio simply cannot detect the FM signals, even though they're right there.
This gives us two worlds, basically, existing in the very same space. So on one hand, you have the visible sector. This is the vibration mode that creates light, electrons, protons, everything we can see and touch. It's our universe. But at the same time, in the same place, there's a hidden sector, a parallel set of vibrations that just do not interact with our light at all.
The source paper puts this really precisely. It describes these hidden sectors as being orthogonal to our visible world, which is really just a fancy way of saying they vibrate in a way that is fundamentally invisible to us. The paper states, dark matter originates from solitons embedded in internal phase sectors orthogonal to the visible electromagnetic sector. They're simply different channels of reality.
So, with this one concept of hidden vibrational sectors, all of a sudden we have this incredibly simple, almost beautiful and elegant way to solve the mystery. We don't have to invent some new, exotic substance out of nowhere. The answer is built right into the fabric of reality itself.
So what is dark matter? It's a hidden soliton. It's the exact same kind of thing as an electron or a proton, a stable, self-trapped knot of spatial vibration, but it's a knot that's formed from a vibration in one of those hidden invisible sectors of the phase field. It's just matter that's on a different channel.
And this idea, well, it just seems to perfectly match everything we observe. Why is it dark? Because it doesn't couple to our light sector. Why does it have gravity? Because it's still a trapped knot of energy, and all knots warp the shared fabric of space. It's stable. It doesn't really interact with our matter. I mean, it is exactly what astronomers have been looking for.
So the really crucial point is this. This isn't about adding some patch or some exotic new ingredient to our theories. It's a profound simplification. Suddenly, we have one single, unified principle, the idea that all matter is a topological knot of vibrating space that can explain both the visible universe and the dark universe.
And that means this whole idea goes way beyond just dark matter. If both visible and dark matter are just different behaviors of the exact same underlying stuff, this becomes a potential blueprint for a truly unified picture of all of reality.
Just think about what this means. You've got normal matter, those are the knots in the visible sector. You've got dark matter, those are the knots in a hidden sector. And then you have gravity, which isn't some separate force at all, but it's the shared geometric effect of all of these knots warping the one reality they both inhabit.
As the authors of the framework state, the ambition here is enormous. This model attempts to unify all major physical phenomena under a single-phase topological principle. I mean, it really aims to be a theory of everything, and it's all derived from the simple idea that space itself is everything.
And that leaves us with a final fascinating question to chew on. If the vast cosmic mystery of dark matter is simply a different vibration of the space all around us, what other secrets, what other phenomena, what other potential realities are still out there, hidden in the phases of the universe, just waiting to be discovered?